Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Oh man, it's funny. I was just walking over here and I was just thinking, I'm back in Guatemala, and I've been thinking about back in the United States, all the strange going ons, and then one of my local friends here drove up. He saw me and came back, and he was asking me about the United States, about what's going on. And I said, I've been here about 2 weeks, been back about 2 weeks now. And so I told him about my experiences and stuff like that, and how he's been, and everything's been good. And then it dawned on me, I have a lot of friends, and my friends are kind of different than I think what most people think of as friends. And a lot of it, now I'll tell you, a lot of it has to do with my age. And not, when I say age, I'm talking about I've had years to work on my character. I've had years to see other people and watch how other people act and take care of themselves, how they present themselves. And I've talked about it in war. What you do in war is, whoever you fight, you are looking at the weapons they use, how they use them, the tactics they use. You learn from your enemy. That's what you do in war. You do the same thing in combat, hand-to-hand combat, one-on-one. If the guy puts up a good fight, you've learned something if you've made it through the fight. And you pick up this stuff. Smart people, they pick up on their experiences. And I've done the same because I read body language. I can't speak the language. I see how people carry themselves, how they act, how they present themselves. And it's the same thing in any language. There's ways of doing it. And I watch people that are successful. And when I talk about successful, I'm talking about people that have good character. To me, that's how I judge a person having character, is by the way he has built his character. And now there's something, I've mentioned this before a lot. I know about good morals. You need to, we work on our morals. I've told you, I've never been nice all my life. My wife did a lot on helping me take personal responsibility, especially over my morals. But also, there's a whole lot more than that. You build character. Now, what kind of character depends on what it is that you're building on. Some people, I say people have to like me the way I am. Well, you suck. That's the way you are. That's why nobody likes you. And you need to take steps to improve you. And like I say, that's what I've done pretty much all my life. But like I say, I learned to fight early, and I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to. I want to try to get along. So how do you get along? You learn skills to make yourself more open to others. skills that will make the people around you feel more comfortable and relaxed. And when that happens, then you can start some communications. Now, I would suggest, and it's funny because I never thought so much, I don't know if I mentioned it in any videos before or not, but when I was a kid, my dad sent me to an etiquette school, manners. They teach you manners, and I'm just guessing, probably 10 years old, something like that. And but I remember they showed me how to introduce people to each other. They showed me how to open the door for a lady. They showed me when we'd sit down at the table how the table is set and how you eat properly and this type of stuff. I never thought so much about it. Like I said, I was a little kid. Who cares? And but now I think about it, I go back to what I learned. And I didn't learn a lot. The class was a lot longer and taught me a whole lot more than what I remember. But I do use manners. I talk about using manners. And I suggest, if you haven't gone, and that's why they have these finishing schools, for, I don't know if it's just for women only or men and women, I don't know. But the way I understand, that's what they do, is they teach you how to act like a woman or act like a man. And I would suggest, if you can take a class, I don't even know if they even offer courses or classes like that anywhere, but it would be well worth your time to learn how to be polite. Because like I say, it's funny, because in the life and death situations that I find myself in, I use courtesy when I'm in these situations. And it's funny because when I do that, it makes the uncivilized people uncomfortable. And like I say, everything in Guatemala is more noticeable. And one thing that has been going on that I've noticed down here, like I say, I run around with the rich and poor. Like I say, it's a definite line between the rich and the poor there. And I say 10% are rich, 90% are poor. And I can get along with all of them. All of them will victimize me if I give them the opportunity. And like I say, the way I defend myself is I use manners. I know there's other words. I'm not really big on big vocabulary. I don't know a lot of words. But there's things, my actions show that I am the upper class. And it applies not only in the rich or poor, and on either one that I'm with, it doesn't make any difference, because they both treat me with respect. Now, it's funny, even, I talked about when that time I had to pull out my tomahawk and everybody was standing around with machetes. Even that, they could see I'm not like the rest of them. I talk about when the police and military stopped me. And really, I just act like normal until I get out of the car. Whenever I get out of the car, that's when things change. And it's funny, I had somebody say, you don't wear your seatbelt. Well, that's why. I can get out of my car quick. I talked about the time when the car pulled in front of me, and they were going to get out, and I don't know if they were going to mug me, assassinate me, or kidnap me. but I got out of the car before they did, and I commenced. Well, I can't tell you what I do, because I still use a lot of these tactics, and but anyway, they ended up backing off, and everything I do now at my age, everything I do reflects my character. Everything about my character reflects what I've been learning and my experiences. That's why, again, I talk about seeing people, going places, learning things. This will make you a more rounded person. Now, I'm saying all this because I do have a lot of friends, and I'm just amazed, because I will go months and sometimes years without seeing these friends. And when I do, it's just like it was just yesterday when I seen them. And my friendships, you can tell when I'm a friend. I'm open, I'm honest, and I don't let anybody hurt my friends. I don't let anybody hurt my friends physically or emotionally. I will step in and do what I have to do. I will say what I have to say. I will stand where I need to stand. Every little, don't forget, I deal with body language. So every little thing I do, I'm saying something. Friends are important. That is one thing that I have a lot of, and these are real friends. Now, I'm not saying all of them are going to stand for me. I'm not saying every one of them will die for me or fight for me. I'm not talking about that. I said before, I don't believe in equal rights. Yes, men aren't equal to women. Yes, I don't believe they are. Men aren't equal to men. I don't believe they are. But when you're my friend, you know and I know we're not equal. We're friends. We both have something to offer the other that the other needs. Why? Because we need each other. I talk about that. Strong individuals coming together for a common goal. That is how I make my friends. That's how you make relationships. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.